made possible by 343 Studios.
All right, it is the Nathan 343, and we are on part 3 now of this series. We are now putting in the new corners. So we have the new corners finally came in. These things are kind of annoying. So we got the new corners here. These are the amber corners. Alrighty. So they go with the curved spot here facing in and the open spot facing out. So what you're gonna have is 2 units like this at your corners. So what you're gonna do is you've got your little tabs right here. You wanna line those up with the slide grooves. Gotta get that one in there. This wire out of the way, and then just push it in. Then what you want to do, plug your harness in. So what you want to do is the red wire here, you want to make sure that lines up with your hot wire, and also these 2 little bumps right here in the plugs, those 2 will line up together. Let's go ahead, we'll do the other side. I'm gonna flip this piece here, that cable out of the way. It goes like this. Slide that in the track. Let's see, slide our lights in the track. Make sure our cables don't get pinched. Slide those in. Reach down here, grab our plug, lock it in, kind of snaps. Again, I gotta get all these cables cleaned up. And now we have the 2 front corners. Now I've only got 1 corner here. In the back, we have more coming, another one coming. So we will put the other corner in, but at least now I can go ahead, seal the front end off, and seal a majority of the back off and just leave this back corner open. So the bar is almost ready to put back together, or at least the top half of it is about ready to put back together. So let's go ahead. We're gonna fire these corners up and make sure they work. Yes, we have connection. So I'm gonna go ahead. Of course, it is tipped down, which is fine. Oh yeah, those don't look very bright, I'm pretty sure on camera, but they are bright. Right here. Oh yeah, those are definitely bright. So we got the corners on, looking really, really good there. Those are definitely working. Of course, we have, of course, the batteries in the way, but we have both here on this side working. We have those working. Very, very nice. And the 2 corners down here are flashing together. So you will get both corners here flashing together. Very nice. All right, so those work. I'm gonna go ahead, zip tie all these cables up, make sure they are stuffed down into the bar, get all this stuff put back together, and we'll get ready to put the lid back on.
1 eternity later.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to the Whelen Liberty build. Some things have changed since we last talked. It's probably been a couple of months since I filmed that part where we talked about the inboards and outboards and all that. Well, as you can see, the Liberty is sitting here in front of me. It doesn't have its feet on it. Matter of fact, it don't have any feet on it, or mounting points yet. We do have the corners in. Everything's in, light-wise, everything's put together for now. I am going to be changing some stuff probably next summer sometime. I'm not for sure when, but I do want to upgrade this thing to the high-intensity takedowns, which my takedowns are here and here. I would love to upgrade those to those high intensities. I think that'd be awesome to have some really good high intensities in the front. So we're going to do that. However, some things have changed. I have got the trigger harness extended on this thing. There is, I want to say, 20 feet here of this. I did just pick this up offline. It was a 16 trigger. There are 16 wires coming out of the back of that. However, I'm not using all 16 wires, how we have this wired up. So right now, I have the light bar just powered up here. I got the old battery out of the Dakota, which is a great battery. It is a deep cycle, so it's able to power this stuff, no problem. The bar is probably not sitting level just because I have it sitting on a couple things that are different heights, but I wanted to have it up a little bit. So, I got a deep cycle battery here. I believe this is, I don't even know how many cold cranks this thing is. 900 maybe, 800, 850, it's around in there. Good battery. It just won't fit in any of my new trucks. I wanted to keep it because it was a good battery to use it to work on light bars and stuff like that. Now stay tuned to the channel because we're going to be getting a different Whelen product to completely rebuild. And I'm super, super excited to show that one to you. It is a strobe bar we're going to convert to LED, so make sure you stay tuned for that. There's going to be a few more videos on this. There's going to be an installation video. I'll probably do a video on how to put the feet on this that we're going to be using. So my harness here consists of a few different wires. I think we have 8 trigger wires. I'm going to be getting an 8 switch controller for this. We're just going to be running this off toggle switches. I'm not going to be using like a weekend setup and all that. I'm not going to go all that in detail. It's got strobe patterns in it. I like the patterns I've got set on this thing. It looks great. Super happy. Now we're going to do the bar basically just like this, and I'll probably bring the camera over here and shoot it this way so that you can see the back side of the bar. So we're going to try to do the front side of the bar first. So first thing we're going to show you, so we've got our helper here now. Okay, I would not look that way. So I'm going to show you the corner lights here. Just going to touch them to the positive. So that is the corner pattern setup. Now I'm going to have this on one switch, so if I don't need the entire bar, but I need just a little bit of lighting, say on the side of the road, we can just turn these corner lights on. Those are a 45-degree light. They look phenomenal. This whole bar is amber, minus the alley lights and takedowns, which are white. Maybe down the road, if Illinois switches their laws where you can use green for snow plowing and stuff, we might throw some green in this. It does have the 500 series modules in it. It does have the standard corners. You can get extended ones, which are can get extended ones so that you can have a little bit longer ones that kind of come out. I think they come almost all the way to the corner here if you're not using alley lights and all that. I just stuck with the standard. Again, I think that is plenty bright. I'm going to go ahead and turn this light off here for you in studio, just so you can see that. Hopefully that is showing up perfectly on camera. I know it is showing on what I can see here. The light's back on. So that is my 2 wires there. This wire here is going to be the front lights. Now I'll set those to certain patterns. So you're not seeing anything here or here. That is due to those are the takedowns. Those are the 500 series takedowns. So that's why you're not seeing those. You can see my little kitty here. Oh, she's gonna get me. So then if I take these and put these together, now you're gonna kind of see what it looks like with the corners and all that. Corners, centers. Corners, centers. As Lily is blocking the light. Okay. Then we have this blue wire, which is the back of the bar. As you can see it flashing away here. I'll give you guys probably another side, but this one we just have a couple different random flash patterns. I like random. It gets your attention, but you're not staring at the same pattern all the time. If you guys are running these on escort vehicles, change that pattern up. So we'll run these along with the corners, as you can see. Now, the cool part is if I do decide to not run the fronts, but I want the corners and I don't want these, flipping the switches, I can do that. So I can just run the back side of the bar if I choose. If I don't want the corners, Or if I don't want the corners and just want those, I can just run that there. And then of course, there's the fronts. If I want just the 2 fronts and the 2 backs with no corners, I can do that. Okay, moving on. We're gonna move on to our white wire here. These wires are all matched up to the wires that come out of the bar, so not to be confusing. We have our alley light over here on our, this will be the driver's side. Okay, cool. So we have a separate alley light like I wish Speed Tech would do with their bars. So you can put a alley light there on the side and not have to worry about this alley light coming on. But I have this one wired up with the takedowns. So, I can't remember which wire that is though. So now we have the traffic advisor going on. So I have a dealer with a few flash. There's my takedowns with, hold on. We'll go ahead and put all those together. So takedowns and alley lights. Again, these are 500 series. These also shoot off to the side. I'll go ahead and turn off my lights so you guys can see those. They're bright. They're going to light up quite a bit. I'm super excited to see these on the deal. This one here is the other traffic advisor going the opposite direction. So if I take these 2 on their switches, say on the switch I turn both switches on, then I get my center out if I'm parked in the middle of traffic somewhere. Y'all can see that. So, and then when you take them all together, except for those, we won't put the traffic advisors on. We will just take all of these and touch them all together. That's what you're going to end up with when I fully light this bar up, which will be a lot of different switches turned on at once. So I'm going to be looking at a 8-gang switch box. I've got a couple different ones I'm looking at. We'll do an individual video on that and how to hook it up. The cool part is it's all ready on these switches, hot and ground already ran. All you need to do is run a hot and a ground from your battery control box or your battery from your vehicle, and then you just run each one of these wires to each individual wires, whatever switch you want those on. So which I've got to do that, and I'll probably label them somehow, make some labels for them so I know what switch is what. So it looks very cool. I am super excited to get this bar on the dually. If I ever came across another one of these, I might put it on my Ford, but I think we're going to go with Speed Tech all on that truck. So I think this is going to look cool. Now, what are we going to be using to mount it? Well, we're going to be using a stud mount bracket that Whelen makes for the Whelen Liberties or any Whelen bar. It's the same ones that come with my Century I had. Put them in, turn them, tighten them down, lock them all in tight. They stay. So we're using that, except for the new ones have a little bolt to lock them down. We're going to be drilling a hole in my headache rack. We're going to drop a long, probably 2.5, 2.25 inch bolt down through it, just enough to give me little threads to put, you know, lock bolt or even a whizzy nut on there or some sort of nut to hold it on. Probably put a little Loctite on it so it doesn't come loose. And then we're going to run the wire right here down the headache rack, under the truck, under the driver's side where all the other wires run. We are going to wrap this thing in wires like loom. I'm going to get some wire loom and put this in. And then we'll be able to feed it up all the way to this. I'll zip tie it to this so it protects this wire from chafing, from water, all that. We're going to do that to both wires. We're going to have 2 separate wires coming down off this thing. So, and then I'll probably ground the light bar. There's a little ground wire. There's 2 grounds. There's a chassis ground and a battery ground. I'll probably ground the chassis ground off that to the headache rack. I think there's a spot on there I can ground to. So lots of cool stuff coming. Again, thank you for following along with this. Sorry it's taking a little time. With lawn care this season was super, super busy and just didn't have time. It's fall time. At the time of this recording, it's November 3rd, about to be November 4th. So we'll see when this video comes out, but stay tuned. Hopefully in the next week or so. I gotta wait for the brackets to come in to mount this, the switch box, all that stuff. I don't necessarily need the switch box to mount it, but you know, as soon as you get something mounted, you're gonna wanna plug it in and light it up. Enough said. So we've also gotta wait for the other wire for this power wire to go into. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. See you in the next one.